is the Honky Tonk Man, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, saying tune in to In Your Head Online. Check it out. Great website, great stuff on there.
Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I'm the Internet Icon, the pride of the Pilgrims, the Dungeon Master of the Internet Airways, handsome Jackie Jones. And join me right now, and he's probably wondering why, right about this minute. We have Anthony Corelli, formerly known as Santino Marella, on the line. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. Now, when I called you, I could hear all kinds of stuff going around in the background. You're at the Battle Arts Academy. You want to give people who don't know an idea of what's going on there?
Well, Battle Arts Academy is a multi-sport training facility. We have 3 Olympic sports, judo, wrestling, and boxing. And then we have an MMA program both for kids and for adults featuring, submission wrestling, Muay Thai. We also do pro wrestling, and we also have some team training. We have some football players out there hitting the turf, doing some footwork. Hockey players getting their conditioning up. Everything. It's a big facility. Everyone's welcome in the neighborhood because it's, there's something here for everyone. Kids, parents, people that want to lose weight, just anybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long have you been doing that?
Battle Arts, this September is 3 years.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, some people know, some people don't know that you have an extensive background in judo.
Yeah. I've been doing judo since I was 9 years old, and I'm still doing judo.
Yeah. For fans of just like Santino and don't know your background, who, not everyone, studies everything about wrestling. Are people surprised sometimes when they find out, that you're trained in judo?
Yeah, because judo's not the most popular or common sport. There's a lot more guys that do amateur wrestling. These days, everyone's doing BJJ and stuff. Judo is a pretty tight-knit community. We've always been at least number 3 martial art with karate and taekwondo. We have a little chip on our shoulders a little bit. But, yeah, I did it right through university. And, of course, I took time off when I was a WWE wrestler, but I'm just getting reacquainted with it and reconnecting with some of the organizations. And it's fun, man. It's fun to be back.
Yeah. Now, did your judo background help you in professional wrestling? Or can
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when I started wrestling pretty late, and having the coordination and the ability to do the moves were super easy compared to judo moves. And there were some tweaks I had to make. For example, when you throw someone in judo, you're throwing someone against their will, and when you throw someone in wrestling, you're throwing them with their cooperation. And so you have to tweak your explosiveness and effort level. So I was over rotating guys because I wasn't used to guys going with me.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
And also in judo, the first thing you learn is how to fall safely. So great falls.
Mm-hmm. Now, was the Cobra part of your judo training?
No, the Cobra was something I learned in a Japanese bar one time.
Excellent. So people know you're no longer with the WWE. Do you think that's primarily because of your injuries?
Yeah, probably. I can't wrestle anymore. Of course, I could have did stuff on the mic as a general manager, commentator, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they didn't see it that way, or maybe there's nothing going on right now. But they're pretty clear about this is just my booking contract, and I can still do stuff on the network. And my goal is to have a developmental territory up in Canada here, so we can get the Australian guys and the English guys and the Canadian guys and do a whole new NXT North type thing.
No, that'd be
so
awesome.
I'm always working on getting that going. We got local TV here for our wrestling. We have champions. We have light heavyweights and heavyweights, and our pro wrestling program is pretty awesome. Our venue is fantastic. We put on a really good show.
And it was talked about today that it looks like they're going to have a 2 separate brands again, the brand split. So I would think that they would need, a lot of, new talent.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have the talent, but the talent isn't being seen because the talent, when the top guys are on both programs, you never see those mid-card guys.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's going to be two brands. You can get those even entry-level guys because they need entry-level guys on each show, up-and-comers and mid-card guys, not just all main eventers. So it's really going to allow for more of a fair opportunity for guys to rise to the top, because hopefully it'll be on crowd reactions.
Mm. You were there during the last brand split. Did you feel that happened? That like guys, there was more guys being showcased on TV?
No, I think the brand split was the wrong thing to do since it happened. I think that it was very quickly became a negative.
Mm-hmm. So what would be the difference now, do you think?
Oh, sorry. No, I mean, joining the brands.
Mm-hmm.
Joining the brands was a negative.
Oh, I see.
I'm sorry.
I see.
Splitting the brands was good. Splitting the brands was very good. You had guys that were stars on both brands. I mean, on their individual brands.
Mm-hmm. Now, currently, how's your neck doing?
Well, that's okay. It's okay for, physical fitness. I can't, I grappled a few times last week and tested it, but it was all right. I can't take a flat back bump.
Mm-hmm.
So that's preventing me from wrestling, but if I can engineer a match without having to take a bump, I guess I could wrestle then.
Yeah. Now, I have to bring this up. When we announce you're coming on the show, everyone wants to know this. What's your memories of the incident with Jim Cornette? Because we've heard his story on this many times, but I don't think I've never heard your take on the incident with Jim Cornette.
Oh, he mistaken me for somebody that was in the show. I was just watching the show with my daughter as a spectator, and he thought I was, I don't know, part of the show or something. So he wanted me to react a certain way, and I just got there. I didn't know anything, about what I was supposed to do. So anyway, he freaked out because he was frustrated because something else didn't work the way he wanted to, and I took it out like a insecure coward would.
So have you ever had any interaction with him since then?
That's the only interaction I've ever had with him in my life. It's a shame because, you know what? He has a lot of experience and knowledge that I would have appreciated, and I would have loved to learn from him.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he treated me that day, I want nothing to do with him.
Yeah. And I would think someone, you're one of my, not just because you're here, but you're one of my favorite guys in the last 10 years, one of the funniest, talkers and stuff. So I would assume, like growing up as a wrestling fan, he would have been a guy that you enjoyed.
Yeah, of course, you always kind of become the characters that you like.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a saying in wrestling, and I just want to know I'm sure you've heard it, and what are your thoughts on it? Is funny equals no money?
No, well, there has to be funny in every single show. There has to be dramatic moments. There has to be funny moments. There has to be exciting moments. If it's no funny, it's all just monotonous and the same. So that's why I was lucky. Nobody else was kind of competing with me for that spot. But that's why I was in the WWE for 10 years, is because you have to have a comedy element. But the thing is, you're not going to be the heavyweight champion, but you're going to have a job for 10 years. So I'll take that.
Yeah. Do you think that, because it is a different audience, it's a different time than, when you say if fun equals no money, do you think it could be possible for, like, a Santino character? There was times when it was in the Royal Rumble when you almost eliminated Alberto Del Rio. The crowd was really behind you. Do you think there could have been, like, if they just went with the Santino character, there's a chance that could have took off as a main event guy?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's whatever you want to write. If somebody wrote in a storyline and said, Santino took ninjutsu lessons and now he's a badass, it would take 3 weeks before everyone would completely believe that I was a badass. People have a short memory when it comes to programming, and you could totally change your character and be a certain way in no time. I wanted to do a hypnosis gimmick where I was like indestructible and beat up everybody, and they kind of liked it for a second. And then, of course, when he loses his hypnosis, he's weak again, and then he realizes it's actually him all along, and he has the potential and all that kind of stuff. Just like in a kids TV special cartoon or something.
Yeah.
Just learning that lesson that it was you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do anything, but I don't know. I enjoy making people laugh and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would. The way I trained to be a shit kicker. But hey, whatever job you got, man.
Yeah. I was always had a lot of fun watching you. You mentioned you were coming up with an idea like that. How easy is it to go to someone if you have an idea for your character? Are they open to listen to it, even if they don't like it?
It's very easy to go up to anybody, whether or not they do it. It's their thing.
Right.
You know, the people go, "Oh, that sounds great, thank you." Yeah, great. And then whatever doesn't happen. So some guys get discouraged but some guys don't. They keep giving ideas, and one bites sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember some of the other ideas that you had that you wish would have happened?
No, I wanted to tag with Kozlov. I got that. I don't know. There's nothing else really that I wanted and didn't get.
Yeah. What was it about Kozlov that you thought would work?
Oh, just fun. He's an awesome guy. He's hilarious, man. Just riding with him, dinner with that guy. Just, I don't know. When you're a tag team champion or a tag team in general, you're with that person 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. And we split rooms and split cars. You are with that person. You're married to that person. Yeah. And he was just a great guy to ride with. He's cool guy, funny all the time, never in a bad mood.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I would never see Kozlov on TV and think that's a very funny man. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gave an awesome headbutt.
Yeah, he was a monster. You should see him now. I just saw him in Miami last week. He's jacked, shredded, jacked, 285-pound monster. Training jiu-jitsu and just kickboxing, working out. Like, he's in super shape.
Cool. So what's he? You say he's training jiu-jitsu. What's he like? What's he up to?
Bellator offered him a fight actually, but he's not a new kid on the block here. He wants the right amount of money, and plus I think a lot of guys are fucking terrified of him.
Right.
I would be.
Yeah, I would be too, but I'm 5'5", so. But the I read that you were you had like a 6-1 record in MMA.
Yeah, we were fighting in Japan, and we had some full blown MMA, just a few, but we had some pancration fights, which you can count as MMA too, and some submission wrestling tournaments. And Japan was successful.
Mm. So, what was the idea there? Did you ever think of just pursuing that? Why did you end up in the wrestling?
Well, I went to Japan to study pro wrestling, but the way they train the pro wrestlers is like an MMA fighter. So we were just sparring and doing MMA all the time, and I was beating everybody. So I was like, might as well have a fight. I'm pretty good at this. And I went and had some fights.
Would you say you had more fun in wrestling?
Well, wrestling, I love it, but it never quenches your thirst of actual competition. Mm-hmm. And I'm an athlete, and I want to beat you and dominate you, and I never got that in wrestling. But you put it on a show, so it's apples and oranges, really.
Yeah. You could have just went up there and shot on somebody in the ring.
Yeah, oh yeah. I thought of, sometimes you just daydream. I get to choke that guy anytime I want.
Anybody in particular? You have to name names, but maybe anyone like, man, I would really like to have my way with this guy.
No, not in the locker room. Everyone's cool.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Now, we had JTG on the show, and did you ever read his first book?
Who's that, sorry?
JTG from Crime Time.
I didn't read his book, but I trained with GT for years. JTG, with Rip Rogers in Louisville. So I know him very well. I knew him since he was a very young man. He's a good boy.
Mm-hmm. Rip Rogers is a great guy, too. I think he holds a record. He was on here for like 3.5 hours. But
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rip Rogers is the man. He's the man.
He never gave you the thumb, did he?
Yeah, he gave me the thumb.
No, I didn't think so. But in JTG's book, he mentions that one of the things that kind of he says kind of led to the end of his career in WWE was that he sold the Cobra really well on a Raw. And do you remember that match?
Yeah. Wait, what did he say? That they got mad at him for that?
Yeah, he said he got a lot of heat in the back, not from the wrestlers, but from like agents.
Yeah, no, it was so stupid. For some reason, they just got pissed at him. And I thought he did a hilarious job. It's my favorite sell of the Cobra ever. I even said that a few weeks ago. I tweeted that out. And they were pissed at him, and I felt so bad for the guy because it was awesome. But whatever, sometimes if they have a problem with you, they'll find a reason to get mad at you, I guess.
Yeah. Because just me as a fan, it didn't make a lot of sense. If that was the finish of the match, if you don't sell it at all, it doesn't really make any sense, and you might as well have fun with it, you know?
Have you seen it? Have you seen him selling it?
Yeah. I watched it when it happened, and then when I read in the book, I was like, I remember that. It was awesome.
It's awesome.
Uh-huh. Is that when you invented the Cobra? Like, what were some of the other guys' reactions to it? And when you first did it, and like you got the reaction from the fans, what was it like for you?
So I was at a house show and I was wrestling. I think it was Carlito, and I just leaned over to Cena before my match. And I said, "Hey, watch this. I'm gonna try something in my match." So during my comeback, I was like giving him clothesline, jab, whatever. And then I just, as he was selling up, I put my arm out, did the Cobra, and hit him. And the audience have never seen it before. It's never been on TV, but they laughed. They laughed immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back to the curtain, and he said, "I would keep that if I were you," because we kept it. And basically, I would only do it on live events. I never did it at TV. And then one time I was having a match. I think it was Ricky Steamboat was my producer, and he goes, "Yeah, you're going to go over with the Cobra." And he goes, "Vince wants to see it. He's heard about it from reports on all the live events and stuff." So we did it, and he loved it, and that's it. The Cobra was born in mainstream. It's funny, there was a while there, 5 years ago now, that when I would pull the sock, the entire arena would go ape shit. I remember thinking to myself, why do you guys like it so much? It's not even that cool.
No, when you had the Cobra facing off with Sacco at Royal Rumble.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Was
that was fun just talking about it, and the execution and the timing was fucking perfect. And and the legitimate just joy on his face is so funny when I watch him. He's so happy he's doing this, and it's making me, oh my god. It's so funny.
How did that come about? Was that like Mick's idea or your idea? I mean, it just seems
the
natural.
The only thing wrong with that happened was Cody Rhodes broke it up too early. We should have held that for several seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Several seconds.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Bad Cody Rhodes. You had Mick, but you worked with a lot. You had like little angles and stuff with a lot of like legends. Piper and Stone Cold and when you work with a legend, what's that like for you? Because I assume you're a long-time wrestling fan.
Yeah, when you work with a legend, you're just nervous. You don't want to let them down. These guys are pros and they're not going to screw up. So it's really no one screws up or you screw up. So you don't want to be the guy. So but it elevates your game. I'm a pressure player. Every time I have worked with a legend, I'm happy with my performance.
Mm-hmm. I would think that would be a good feeling too, because I would think like those guys would have to want to work with you, to be in that angle to begin with. Like they'd saw something. Yeah, this guy's entertaining. I want to do something with him.
Yeah. I think there's been a couple of requests, which is very flattering.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Honkameter is one of my all-time favorites. I wish it would have went a lot longer. Where was there like more plans for the Honkameter?
Originally, we were going to do the whole thing and hold it for a year. But then, I guess they wanted to, increase the value of the Intercontinental Championship, and bring back its importance. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to have more of a tougher kind of guy, or a champion type guy, instead of a comedy guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's too bad, though, because I was enjoying it. Would have it led to, like, matches with Honky Tonk Man?
I was supposed to be at the end.
Mm-hmm. That would have been sweet. I think I saw an interview with Honky Tonk Man where he said he put you over. He was a big fan of yours.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Now, I saw a short interview with you from Access, and you mentioned one of your favorite WrestleMania matches was Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules, which I don't know why I was like I was like, what? But what is it about that match that makes it one of your favorites?
I just love those guys. I was a huge Billy Jackson Haynes fan. There's something about it. I thought he was the coolest guy. And Hercules Hernandez was awesome. God.
He is awesome.
And they both did full Nelsons, and they're just studs. $2,
Mm-hmm. So, how long have you watched wrestling? Is this something you watch your whole life?
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I remember watching Hulk Hogan winning, being the Iron Sheik on TV.
Mm-hmm. Oh, would you say there's any particular wrestler that made you want to become a wrestler?
Become a wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but there was wrestlers that when I found out that Owen Hart was my height and Davey Boy was my height and that kind of stuff, then I just thought I was too small. When I found out that there was all those wrestlers that were like my size, I said, shit, if size is not an obstacle, then I can do this. This is easy.
Yeah.
I'll be good at this.
Uh-huh. Now, we get a lot of questions here on the Facebook. Mind if I ask some of them from
Sure.
listeners? Yeah, we got Richard Hampson. If you could manage a current WWE superstar, who would it be and why?
Manage a current WWE superstar. Maybe Cesaro.
That would be a good pairing, because he would. That's probably about the only thing missing would be someone to talk for Cesaro, I think.
Yeah, I could take him to the top.
I hope he's listening. Former guest on the show here, Cesaro. So. Bruce Briscoe, what is your background before WWE, and why does everyone say you're a legit shooter?
I think we answered that earlier.
Yeah,
Judo.
Yeah.
Judo.
Mm-hmm. Renee wants to know, was Larry the Cable Guy cool?
Awesome. Completely one of the boys. Cool to hang with, talk sports. He's just down to earth. We got along great. We still keep in touch.
No, awesome. Is that usually the case for celebrities who get involved in wrestling? Or are there people that aren't very cool to work with?
Well, I mean, I got to know him because I was with him for a month. But celebrities sometimes just come for one day, so you can't really develop a friendship in one day.
Yeah.
But there's celebrities you'll see, like, I'm trying to think of one of the girls from, like, Destiny's Child. Not Left Eye. No, which one? I don't know. Anyway, one of them, oh, God, I can't remember. We see each other every year. We chat every year. We talk and catch up. And I see our kids growing up and they're fans. So some of the celebrities over the years, you just see them over and over at different WrestleManias because they come. And, yeah.
Vic Schiavone says, the Elimination Chamber match, was there ever thoughts of calling an audible and putting the belt on you, even if just for 24 hours?
Apparently it was close in Gorilla, but, that message never got conveyed to me.
Is that something that rarely happens? Or is it something that happens sometimes people just don't know, like changing the finish or changing something in the match?
It's very uncommon.
Mm-hmm. What was that moment like for you? Because I mean, I remember talking about on the show because I was like, yeah, they should put the belts on Santino. That was like so awesome. People were so into you. Yeah,
it would have been nice, but it was still a big moment. Everyone always comes up to me and mentions that moment, and even Mick Foley said he was jumping up and down his living room thinking I'm going to win it.
Yeah.
But Santino, I think that was the romance with the character. He was just right there. You felt for the guy.
Yeah.
He was right there. Never become the heavyweight champion, but it would have been nice to see him. I mean, that's the kind of people have a different relationship, I think, with Santino.
Mm-hmm. Mike Terry, do you feel it was too much too soon beating Umaga in your debut?
Well, no, that was Vince's idea, and they wanted it to be a miracle. And it's not like I beat him physically. I was, Bobby Lashley came in and did everything, and it protected Umaga. But it was just an interesting way to introduce a new character. It was more for the introduction of a new character in a way that's never been done, more than taking anything away from Umaga. Umaga didn't need a championship. He was a monster anyway. Losing that title did nothing to him. he should be fighting in the main event. I think shortly after he was fighting Tina in all the main events.
Yeah, and it continued the Lashley Umaga feud. See, how was Vince like? Was he a fan of Santino?
Yeah, Vince was a big fan of Santino. That's why I was there for so long. But that's the only guy you gotta impress, or if Vince is laughing, then he's great. And I would have people come back saying, "Yeah, man, while you were out there, Vince was laughing his head off." So people would let me know, and that felt pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But Vince is awesome, man. I love Vince. I wish he wasn't so busy so you could chat with him a little more. But he's just a very, very busy man. And he's always been super perfect to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is something I've never done before on the show. We've been doing it for 12 years. I let people, usually if we're live, people can call in. We knew we're recording this one, and so we opened up the Heady hotline, and I let people call in and leave voice messages, and I've got some here to play for you. All right.
Okay.
All right. They're short.
Santino, it's Ted. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you wish that the Yeti would return?
I didn't say these were all great, but this is Ted. He wants to know how long, on a scale 1 to 10, how much do you want to see the Yeti return?
The who?
The Yeti from WCW. He was Ron Reese. He was wrapped in, he was like a big mummy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I saw that once or twice. How bad do I want him to return?
Yes.
5.
5? All right. Middle ground. You could take it or leave it.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Jujubee, and I am leaving a question for Santino. I was just wondering, was there any pressure on you since you won a title in your debut, since very few wrestlers have achieved that in their debut? Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was kind of back to your debut winning the title. It was a little different question. Did that add pressure onto you, winning the title?
Yeah, that's a totally different question. There was I could feel some animosity and like, what the heck type shit. Like, what? There's a lot of guys when they're working hard and struggling, but then I had to just earn their respect, and that's what I did.
Was there any problems at first, or did everyone get along with you?
No, people would make jokes, but everyone knows that if anyone's given an opportunity, nobody's going to expect the guy to say no.
Right, yeah.
And it's an unspoken understanding. Hey, if they call me and they say, I only got one spot, sorry, brother, I'm taking the spot. Everyone knows that, that it's every man for himself, because there's just not a lot of spots.
Yeah, you're not saying, no, I think you really should give it to this other guy.
It happened to me in the past. It's like you feel bad. I had a tag partner, Mr. Franco in OVW, and Paul Heyman came to me and said he wanted me to debut on TV, and not my partner. And so we found a way to get him in there. He was in the corner, man. He had a tracksuit and a towel, and he was part of the show. And but he didn't wrestle, and still, it was hard for him.
Yeah. See, I'll play one more of these.
Brian Maglaner from the internet, and I'm on your page, and I have 2 questions for Santino. Who came up with the Cobra? WWE created it, or Santino himself? And then the second question was, I thought the Santino storyline was stupid. I'm almost positive he didn't like playing that character. WWE created was total shit back then anyway. Okay, Neil, this is Brian Maglaner signing out.
So we covered the first part, the Cobra, but he wants to know about Santino.
Yeah, so I guess the Cobra answer is I created it. I brought it to the table. And Santino, I mean, I was a little concerned, but, my philosophy is, hey, if you're given lemons, you make lemonade. So I figure we'll just try and turn it into an opportunity to show some acting range or something. So at the end of the day, it wasn't too long. Thank God. It was like 2-3 months. But, I didn't care that much. It was fun.
Yeah. You never...
Silly, but...
Yeah. You never put on the Santino clothes since then?
No.
All right.
No.
All right. So, how do you find Battle Arts Academy?
I still have them.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I haven't tried them on.
All right. Maybe sometime at an appearance, there can be a Santino photo op.
I'm gonna save it for one day when I'm broke and need the money. I'll just sell it.
That was more depressing than what I said. But let's see. How do people find Battle Arts Academy?
It's in Toronto. It's right beside the Toronto airport. And technically the town is Mississauga. But it's about 5 minutes from the airport in Toronto. So if anyone, we have guys coming up in Cali. They're coming to train with us for a few weeks. And just come here in training camps to train with Mr. Ishikawa because of his submission knowledge. And we have guys coming from France. We have two guys from Australia. So it's a good place if you like MMA or pro wrestling. If you want to make a little fun kind of vacation, come up to Toronto. Come for 5 days, grab a hotel room with a couple buddies. Just put yourself to a training camp.
Mm-hmm. I could take a bus from Boston up to Toronto.
Pardon me?
I can take a bus from Boston up to Toronto.
Yeah.
It's not very far. Yeah. Let's see, battleartsacademy.ca. We'll have the link on the website. And it's been a lot of fun talking to you.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure, man.
Hey, this is Corey Castagnoli. I am very European, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.